Start recording. Now I'm going to go on YouTube here and see if... Sorry, Ron, I called you down.
Get stronger all the time. There's got to be an easier way to do this.
No kidding.
You almost cut the door.
I called the bridge guys to see. I wanted to make sure they weren't on. They weren't working. He said no, they left at 2 o'clock.
You know, and I'll always have notes.
Yeah.
Can't show
People can look at them. Well, at least we know. Thanks, Ron. I'm sorry.
Got it working?
Yeah. I mean,
it. You can't see the board. See that one?
Yeah.
Something shorted out in there.
You stay like that.
So I'm going to have to reprogram it.
Feeling that for a few months.
So I want to change this setup. Instead of the laptop, I got you on the computer. Then you'll just have a screen here and a little keyboard.
Oh, that'll be nice.
It'll be all wireless too. Yeah. All this stuff will be down below. You'll just have a little thing up here for him if you want to plug in a laptop to it or
Oh, okay.
whatever.
Yeah, because that...
Right there.
So when all
Okay,
the
then,
stuff's down below, they put the desk for voting, what happens?
then I want to get
disaster.
rid of these completely.
Yeah, that's
and
it.
just go to a wireless clip.
And that'll get rid of all this crap.
Put a clip on it.
Gonna tag you now.
Like the FBI. Come in.
Track you, yeah.
Have you heard any bad weather?
It's missing almost all this. It's all going up to like Fond du Lac area and that
Oh, it's
there.
a good thing we had our
All
plan
over that
commission
there.
last
There might be
night.
a small cell coming there, but it just rained
Oh,
so far.
I have 559 and no quorum of the board.
yeah, we might not have a meeting.
Nobody showed up.
Well, I think I can see Dylan now.
Oh,
Because Jay's not coming.
yeah, he's so busy.
Yeah, I
And
know.
it's really hard, and after it's here, I don't know if I'll ever find it. If I'm just having so much.
Well, thanks, Ronald.
Yeah,
You
no
know,
problem.
I can't kneel.
I feel bad you came all the way down.
No, keep me informed.
All right, thanks again, Ron.
I'll have
And it's not adjustable.
Kevin is his name. Right there. He works with Bradley.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he's a freelance audio video guy.
Oh, so he knows the shit. Oh, that's good. Well, we now have a quorum. Were you before the police officer? Thanks again, Ron.
Were you escorted there? Yeah.
Take care.
Thanks again, Ron. Jeff, you'll just have to announce that Time Warner came in and we have our equipment sorted out.
At 6 o'clock.
Yep.
So.
You ready?
All right, I'd like to call the village board meeting to order. Everybody please wear eyes for the pledge of allegiance and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call and open meeting law compliance.
President Jeff Millies,
Here.
Trustee Dylan Newman, Trustee Jim Hirth. Mr. President, you do have a quorum of your board. Jay Pekka is stuck in traffic, and I'm not sure Gary Finch is going to make it. So,
Okay.
and you're in full compliance with the open meetings law.
All right, I'd like to read the notice for possible closed session. Consideration and possible action on a motion to convene into executive session under Wisconsin State Statute 19.85, parentheses 1, subparentheses E, deliberating or negotiating on the purchasing of public properties, the investing of public funds, or conducting other specific public business, whether competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session. Specifically, the proposal from the Wisconsin Department of Transportation for the purchase of land owned by the Village of Vernon adjacent to the exit ramp on I-43, adjacent to the fire station number 1, and 19.85, Section D, exempt as provided in 304.06, parentheses 1, supervision or parole or consideration strategy for crime detention or prevention. More specifically, consideration strategy for crime detection or prevention on village facilities. Included in the closed session will be members of the village board, village attorney, and administrative clerk. This will require a roll call vote, and no decisions will be made in closed session. Public comments. Any public comments, please come forward and state your name and address.
Good evening.
Oh, my mic on. Oops.
Is it on?
Mine wasn't on.
Is mine on?
I don't think so.
Just talk loud. I can talk loud.
And our equipment's right, so you guys are on TV. I can't move the camera.
I saw that last week. Good evening. My name is Tina Doggett, 33-year Vernon resident, and I am here this evening to share my thoughts about Resolution 2025-02 regarding the streaming and televising of board and plan commission meetings. I am speaking on behalf of many of our citizens, and I would like to say that we made it clear to the board that we would like all meetings, including meetings of discussions, to be taped. If our village board decides against televising all meetings, they are taking away the public's accessibility to observe and participate in the decision-making process. The citizens want to be informed and are getting sick and tired of the lack of transparency with the Village of Vernon board. It has also been suggested that we possibly move the time to 7 p.m. so that people can make it here after dinner and they feed their families. And that's all I have to say. Now I'm going to go home and I'm going to watch the meeting on YouTube out of the storm. Thank you.
Any more public comments? Please come forward, state your name and address for the record.
I don't know if, Karen, you might do this. You might want to get someone to look at that door out there before we need to fix it. The wind will grab it. I think that thing on top is broken. Okay. Hi, Karen Kaler, W249, South 6630 Center Drive. I didn't know I had to do the resolutions, but I'll try to see them. The resolution 2025-02 about taping meetings and plan commission meetings. I guess I'm here just to feel that I've heard from a lot of people it's nice to see them. But then again, I've heard from other older folks, they don't have internet. They watched them when they were on cable. So what the fees are for this stuff, I'm unsure. But if you tape one meeting on YouTube, I don't know if it costs more, if it doesn't, if it's a money thing, or is it just pressing a button. To me, I don't see why you guys have such a hard time just taping them. Do I watch them? Yes. Last night I turned it on at about 10:30, and I had a blank screen. It was dark, but I could hear you. The sound was awesome. And I know it's not on your action items tonight, but technically it is on your agenda. It's about, in the village ordinance papers for the fire department, 27.1, referring to section G, that the chief or his designees shall appear monthly before the town board and present a report concerning all village fire department activities, including calls, memberships, trainings, and pertinent issues, including the activities of the town of Vernon Firefighters Association. So I pulled this up off the Village of Vernon's website. I know there's some wording in all these things for the fire department. It is 5 pages long. Being a resident, when's the last time Chief Feldy came to a meeting when it wasn't asking for money? He's here when he wants money, but he's not around giving his report. Okay, we had 3 brush fires. We had a garage fire. We did so many assists. We don't hear that. We see a little box on your website or on other websites. Okay, there was 40 fires. I live here. Where do we have 40 fires? So we are thinking, and it just would be nice for, okay, put it out there. Thank you.
Any other public comments?
S64 W24720 Susan Street. Just to reiterate some of the meetings not being taped. I actually watch them when I'm out of town. I work out of town a lot, and I'm in a hotel room at night, and I actually pop them on. So it helps me out when I'm not around. I follow up on things. I try to stay abreast of what's going on. So that's my 2 cents on that. I'm still a little bit miffed with the brush pickup. Still, I see a lot of people have their brush put out. I've hauled 3 loads to my buddy's farm out in Muskego. So that's just my 2 cents on the brush pickup. The appraisal of Station 2, we have a cell tower there. So I'm hoping, I don't know which way you're going with the whole thing, but I would hope that we would keep the cell tower. I don't know if we can do that. I don't know if we're selling the building or where you guys are going with that, but I see that as on the agenda for tonight. And that's really all I have. Thank you. And then, one last thing, the proclamation for the Police Week and Emergency Services Week. So thank you for your commitment to our community and the fire department personnel as well. Thank you.
Any other public comments?
Thank you.
No other public comments? All right, hearing none, we'll move on. Deputy Joe, you have a report you want to give us or anything? Concerns?
No, sir.
Comments? Okay. We do have 4 proclamations for this week. For the sake of time with the storm and everything, I'm going to skip reading them. But I'd like to announce that we have a proclamation for National Police Week, proclamation for Emergency Service Week, proclamation for National Public Works Week, and proclamation for Memorial Day. Once again, I'd like to thank you guys for your service. I really appreciate all you do for the community, as well as all the other public officials and stuff that takes place within our village here.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
You're the best.
Miscellaneous matters, resolution 2025-02, a resolution to broadcast village board and plan commission meetings. You know, here I thought we were doing something good, trying to help the public, and meet their needs, and all they're doing is criticizing proclamation. They don't like it. We've been very transparent. We've now put our board packets on the website. They can view all that. That's just been done within the last year.
Last month.
We are trying to be very transparent. We do broadcast meetings first, third Thursday of the month. Plan commissions on the second Wednesday of the month. As you can see, last night we had problems with our audio. We didn't have any video, but we had audio. The screen was blanked up for the whole plan commission meeting. Tonight our camera is broke. You can only see the audience. You can't see us, in case you're wondering why that view is there. We do our best. We're not trying to hide anything. Every meeting we have, if there was a board decision made, the minutes are in the packet with what the motion was and the result of it. I mean, we are very transparent. We are not trying to hide anything. I could really care less if the meetings are broadcast or not. I mean, we're doing our best. I feel if we pass this proclamation, they're thinking we're hiding something, and if we don't pass one, they're going to feel the same way. So I'd like to kind of hear what the rest of the board feels about it.
I think we should go video. We'll just video everything we can, and that's that. I mean, it's fair. It's not too much been asked to, record those special meetings or the informational meetings. I guess, from what I've heard, is they kind of want to know where individuals stand on certain issues. So, I mean, if it's not that big of a deal, I think we should.
Yeah, I mean, it really isn't that big of a deal. That one meeting we did a broadcast, that special meeting we had, I mean, it was the quick approve. It was 4 minutes long, and there was one resident there videotaping with their camera, thinking we're really going to do something, and yet, after the meeting was over, there was no talk about that meeting. Oh, they didn't do anything. It's like, we're not trying to hide stuff. You know, we only meet when we have to. I don't hold any additional meetings. If they want to know how we feel, we talk about it in discussion here, like we're doing now. You know, that's pretty much they watch when we make a motion to vote on something, everybody has the opportunity to discuss how they feel about that particular item. I really don't feel the need for resolution as long as we all feel like we can, whenever possible, we can broadcast the meetings.
That's exactly how I feel. My biggest concern is we have a meeting like we had last night where the camera doesn't work and we literally can't hold plan commission, or in this case, if it were tonight, pay our bills because of a technical difficulty. And if we put something in writing or a law in place that says everything has to be recorded or filmed or something like that, that specific verbiage would prevent us from holding a meeting that night. I have no problem with with recording any of the side meetings or, you know, whatever, additional meetings, whatever you want to call them. But if we put something in the law that says everything has to be recorded, it puts us in a really bad spot for a situation. I mean, would this qualify because one of our cameras isn't working right? Is it recorded? Yes, technically, but is it recording us? No. So it's kind of a gray area there too.
You know, if you go back a few years, former town supervisor, after he was off the board, would come and set up his video camera on a tripod and record every meeting and have a hard disk copy available of it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what was shown on Spectrum, so you didn't have the record to go back and see a previous meeting. I mean, residents are more than welcome to do that. If they think we're trying to hide something, they can come record the meeting for their own purpose and have their own record of it too. You know, that's not a problem.
Yeah, well, like I said, it doesn't cost us anything to put it on YouTube. So I have no problem with it being on YouTube and any of the meetings in general being on YouTube. It's just if we put that specific verbiage in place and something happens, all of a sudden now we're like, well, we have to reschedule this for next week and we have late bills.
Yeah. Jay?
Well, Jeff, I'd like to point out that, you know, equipment does break down. And I'm sure it's to all of our attention, you know, it does take time, you know, to get it back up and running again. So we have to realize equipment can break down too.
Yeah, because our computer tech was here this afternoon trying to work on this situation, and we got video from no video to video of the audience. It's the best you could do at the moment. So,
Just out of curiosity, do other municipalities have like a resolution or a law that they have to record meetings? Or is it just
If you check all the municipalities,
they do?
if you check all our neighboring communities, they only do village board and plan commission. They don't do all their committees, staff meetings.
Is it even a law or is it that they just do?
No, Town of Norway, there's a lot of municipalities that don't record anything.
Because I did talk to, because I would talk to Big Ben still and Waukesha, Village of Waukesha, and they said they record all meetings. So
No.
that's what their clerk told me. So I don't know if she was
Look at-
mistaken, but that's what she said to me, so that's what I was going off of.
Yeah, look at their look at YouTube, you'll see what they put up. And
But I think-
and there was years where Big Ben wasn't even taping their
I think
meetings.
she said it just started this year
I don't know,
in
but
Big Ben. Village of Waukesha, I don't know, but she said that they record.
Village of Waukesha has their attorney at their meetings too.
yeah, which is a huge expense.
Yeah.
My opinion, I think we should just record everything we can.
But I don't disagree with you there, but do you think we need a law that says it has to be recorded?
No.
No.
All right.
We can practice that without putting a law in place so that if something like last night happens, we don't just all show up, it doesn't work, and then we all have to leave.
Yeah.
But that's what would have to happen if we put that in law. We would have showed up for plan commission last night, everybody that came for their specific item, they'd show up, and we'd all be like, all right, well, we can't hold a meeting, bye everyone, and leave.
All right, I'll make a motion to deny resolution 2025-02 with the intent of us trying to broadcast meetings whenever, as much as possible, providing we have a quorum of the board present at that meeting. We'll do everything possible to record that meeting. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense to me.
All right, can I have a second to that
I'll
motion?
second that motion.
Is there any further discussion?
I did want to say, because, one more item. So, if we were to hold, we have a quorum at, so we did some of those DOT things at like the painters union. We aren't really equipped to record something like that, and there's no board action happening at something like that. That would be something where we would have to literally go out and buy equipment in order to film that meeting.
Correct. yes.
Off-site. That would be another circumstance that I'm thinking of.
You can only record here. You
Yeah.
can't take this stuff with
Exactly,
you.
that's, yeah.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Resolution 2025-03, a resolution adopting a new fee schedule. This was brought up with the referendum failing for the increased wages for the fire department, tax levy. We needed to find more revenue. So we're increasing our fees to help cover some of the costs. Where is it? We're going to go from an ALS non-resident bundled on-screen care non-transport at $2,300. Non-resident bundle base rate transport to BLS to $2,000. What else is changing? Non-resident bundled BS rate transport ALS to $2,300. Non-resident bundled base rate transport for ALS 2 to $2,350. And mileage per loaded mile up to $30 per mile.
It's hailing on my car.
So basically, it's an increase in the cost of transporting the ambulance that we're raising the rates for, which would be one of the highest, but not the highest from the sheet I saw.
I think it makes all kinds of sense.
We don't have much of a choice. We need to.
And those rates came from EMSMC, our billing agency. The biggest issue is you got the charges for the non-resident, but I think you'd want to have a lower rate for our residents.
Well, also when Medicare and Medicaid, no matter what rate we charge, they give us a set amount. We can't.
Yeah, you can make it $10,000, and the only thing is Medicare and Medicaid pay whatever mileage delineation you put on. That's why I put the IRS approved rate. I don't know why we're only at 30 cents when the government's at 70 cents. For approved mileage.
For that way.
Right.
I thought the ambulance mileage was $30 a month.
Right, yeah. Maybe there's some, I don't know the law on ambulance rates. All I know is that that Medicare pays whatever mileage rate you give them.
Which one of those levels of service is for?
When they transport, anytime there's a transport, then there's mileage.
No, for residents.
Alex put his, he put, this one should be 1,300, this one should be there's Alex's comments. I didn't put my comments in because I figured that was something you should talk about, what you feel. But those, you can see the highlighted ones are for non-residents, but you have to come up with, and the grayed out ones, Alex says we don't even use those, so those would come off the fee schedule, the resident BLS non-emergency base rate and the non-resident BLS non-emergency base rate. Both those would come off the fee schedule. They don't even use those anymore. So the 2,300, the 2,000, and 2,300 and 2,350. The 2,350 is the highest level. That's advanced. That's when the paramedics are involved in life-saving circumstances. So that's where the 23, and they use a lot more chemicals and medicines to assist the person. So you can see where the one price is for the non-resident, and then you would need to come up with a resident. The resident one is above it. It says 1,900. That's what we're at now. So that's quite a bit less than the 23.5. Ooh.
Yeah, it's a few hundred less.
Right. So the white line's in between. If ALS 1 non-resident base rate is going to 23, and our rate for a resident is 1,400. Just so you can see the difference. The non-resident bundled rate transport is 2,000, and our residence is 1,400. And then the other one is the ALS non-resident bundled on-scene care non-transport. So they're doing a lot of stuff at the house, but they're not taking them. But that's still 2,300. If it's an ALS, I mean, people can refuse to be transported, but there's a lot of times. I had a resident call, and he was given quite a bit of medicine, but would not go in the ambulance. Unfortunately, he was on Medicare, and when just because he didn't go on the ambulance, Medicare won't pay anything because he was supposed to be. The medical people told him he should have been transferred. His wife took him to the hospital, but he won't pay any of the bill. It's all on him. So that's the only thing you'd need to decide. And since you were looking at the fee schedule, I just wanted to confirm on the peddler's permit, it's we charge $250 for a business that comes in and asks for a peddler's permit. And then we would always charge the $10 background check, which is the normal charge for.
$20, I thought.
No, it's $10 for the background check. And I wanted to raise it another 10 because we actually make them a laminated badge with a lanyard. I mean, we have some costs into that. So instead of the 10, we'd have the $10 and their badge, because they'd have to. We always put the badge on the website, so when they come to their house, they have to have that Vernon badge. But we also post those badges on the website, so people can look and see if that's the person that's supposed to be coming to their house. So that was the only other area that I wanted the board to take a look at. If you thought the 200, I think 250. It's $250 a month for a business to come in.
Yeah, that's not for a business. I have no problem with that.
I just would like the board to increase, add that extra $10 to make that badge and that lanyard and.
I think it should be increased.
And none of we've had two businesses come in because we had some storm damage. They're going to be in there. We'll have more come in now, but just so the board knows, that those pictures go on the website.
I don't feel that our resident rate should be higher than our non-resident rate for EMS though.
Yeah, I mean, I personally think our residents should be paying less than non-resident. I mean, our residents are paying the taxes.
Exactly.
So whatever rate you feel is appropriate.
I think, why don't you say across the board, whatever our non-resident rate is, discount the resident rate by $500?
Fine with me.
From what
And the non-resident rate is, make the resident rate $500 less.
okay, based on the recommendation, okay, I
Yeah.
can do that, if
Yeah.
that's what the board,
I'm good with that.
Paying taxes on the equipment.
right,
Either way, I agree. I think residents should be paying less.
yeah.
And also, I'd like to mention with those peddler permits, if someone comes to your door and they do not have that badge, please call the non-emergency number of the sheriff. They like to know who's in the area. It may not be legit.
And we should thank the Waukesha County Sheriff's Department, because we had a resident call the hall and say somebody's in our subdivision. Sheriff's Department were out there. They didn't have a peddler's permit and they were issued a citation, which is comforting to a lot of residents, especially to our elderly people that sometimes are unfortunately swayed. So thank you, Sheriff's Department.
Open their doors anymore either.
You can always post your property. No trespassing.
All right, so is there a motion to approve the
Amended
amended, what do you want to call it,
2025 fee schedule.
the fee schedule, that's what I was looking for. As presented with the resident rate being $500 less than the non-resident rates.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second that motion.
Second by trustee Pecca.
And just point of clarification, do you also agree with the $30, raising the mileage rate to $30 per mile?
I
Yes.
agree with that.
And then the $20 per, on the peddler's permit. I just wanted to make sure that I captured everything you wanted in the motion. Thank you, board members.
All right, hearing no further discussion, all in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Appraisal of Vernon Fire Station Number 2 located at South 81 West 26220 National Avenue. I put this on the agenda. You know, with that referendum failing, I'm not sure where we're getting all the money from. Fire Station 2 is basically a storage facility at this time. And I was just kind of curious on what the value of that building is. We do have a cell tower on there with over $40,000 a year income. You know, I hate the idea of actually selling any of that, but I'd still, at some point, I'd like to know what our value is on that. I don't want to pay for an appraisal. I'd like to ask Cal Magnum, our village assessor, if he could give us a number first, just to get a rough idea. Anytime you need to sell your assets to pay wages, that's not good. But it'd be good to know what our value is. That's why I have it on the agenda.
I wouldn't have a problem if you can give us like an estimate or whatever.
Yeah, if we're talking free, I mean,
Yeah, I don't want to spend any money. We don't have money to spend.
Else.
All right,
you need a motion by?
yeah, let's do a motion,
I'll make that motion. However you want to word it.
Do you want just Cal Magnon, or if I can give you other appraisals that will do it for free?
sure.
I'm fine with that. Other ones will do it for free.
Yeah, just, no
Anyone
cost.
will do it for free.
Authorize staff to present any type of appraisals on the fire station. And I'll get you I'll show you the actual updated amounts on our cell towers.
Yeah, I know the chief is trying to hopefully use that fire station with the village of Waukesha to house a couple of guys there at night to help split this stuff up, but that's all still in the works and talk, so. Just trying to get some facts. All right, so all in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Summer 2000, or is it summer or spring?
It's summer. We did spring. We did the spring one. We had one in February. This is summer.
Then I need to reword mine now. Happy summer, not happy spring.
I'll fix that. Well, it's really not summer yet. Summer doesn't start till July 20th. But for us, our newsletter, it's probably not going to get there till the beginning of June. And I did get permission. I just wanted you gentlemen to see how the gentlemen that are working on that federal bridge project, any information related to the bridge has to come from them per the federal guidelines. And I did get permission. They have been sending me pictures after the bridge project is done. I'd like to share those pictures that they have with the public, but I can't display them without permission. So on the front of the Vernon view, there is a picture of the Fox River with the bridge down. And I did get their permission. But I just wanted, even those weekly updates you get, that's just for board members.
All right, everybody get a chance to review the newsletter?
Any additions, corrections, anything you want out?
I didn't see any changes.
And just so the board members know, the reason we always put a lot of information in regards to stormwater is for our permitting process. And we use that to give to the DNR to show them our education factor to the residents, why stormwater is so important. So when you see that in the newsletter, not the actual article, but the information related to stormwater, it's very important to our permitting process with the DNR and the EPA. And a lot of people.
Gotta make them happy.
Oh, God, yes.
You need a motion to approve it
Yep.
with one change that Jeff's thing is happy summer, not spring?
Is that your motion, trustee?
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I can second that one.
Second by trustee Pecca. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. We're gonna do the next one. We have to talk to the attorney in closed section. The Wisconsin Department of Transportation offered to purchase village property for the recommendation of I-43, South 164 interchange, and authorize village president to sign the agreement. We'll do that a little later. Let's get correspondence and announcements and reports over. I'll go first. Brush pickup is going on now. If you look, there's quite a big pile of brush back there. We've been getting a lot. Also, the bridge is making progress. The deck is off. Went down and looked at it the other day. Other than that, that's about all I have. Trustee Becca?
Well, I just hope, like I say, I just hope everybody's safe working in their yards, but I would like to say, this is the last semester that UW Waukesha will be open. It's sad to say that they're closing it. I was a student there from 1986 until 1989, but I've heard talks that they want to knock down the buildings or whatever. I just would like to see those buildings appraised at top dollar, you know, for whatever, you know, before they knock them down. And that's about all.
Thank you. Trustee Newman?
I don't have anything.
Trustee Earth?
I'm all good, thank you.
All right. Madam Shu?
I just wanted to say to the board, I hope you saw all the information I put in your packet in regards to the DOT. You are always going to get weekly updates from from myself that only the board members can have until we're a lot further along on the project. And I did indicate that we did have a citation issued, just reminding the residents that there are no peddler's permits that have been approved. We've had people apply, but especially now with this storm, you're going to have a lot of people, construction companies coming to your door asking to help you with your siding, your roofs. Please, please, please call the sheriff's department and let them know that there's a peddler in your subdivision, or call the village hall and we'll assist you. Just wanted to remind the board members, I put information on open book and board of review in your packet. Also, you saw the applications for all the 2020, 25, 26 liquor license. You also received notification from the DOT on the urban area boundaries. It's an update on the mapping. You see the village of Mugwanago as a little cluster, and it now goes into Vernon quite significantly. And that's important because when you're writing grants, depending on the grant that you're writing, some of the grants qualify for lesser urbanized roads, but that was put in your packet, so you also have that. Waukesha County's capital improvement plan, I put the reconstruction of National Avenue from 164 to Crowbar in your packet, just in case you have residents ask about that. Highway 164 has the first lift of blacktop. They should have one more. That should be open. 164 probably should be open within 1 week. Also, I got in your package, you got the letter from Dale Shaver. He's the director of Waukesha County Parks and Land Use. He announced that Waste Management has been awarded a 10-year contract to handle all their recycling at their center. They're also going to put a list of people together to look about the dividends process. I did put my name in to volunteer for that committee if they are looking for municipal help. Our auditor has filed the Form C letter, Form C form, which is reporting on all the finances. Our auditor has lots of audit information, is doing the audit as we speak. Also, I put before you and underneath your agenda is another weekly update, and also I wanted you to see the Department of Revenue's distribution that they give you, that we got this week. So you'll see all those ones over $500,000. So I wanted you to see that. And with that, that's all I have, Mr. President and board members.
I'd also like to mention the sheriff report and the fire department report was in the packet. I also like to add, I really don't see the need for the chief to come in to read his report when it's printed out each month in the packet for us. Also, I did have a question on the EMS billing sheet, but I'll talk to you about that later. I wasn't understanding how they were
Right, and I
adding
did,
some of those numbers together.
and I did put, just so the board members know, I did put, they recommended the income statement, then I also wanted to show you that graphed one. So when you look at those, and if you, depending on the reports, we had some for March and some for April. Whatever you like, let me know, because some of the reports are 50 pages long, which you wouldn't want because it's got every patient. But look at those reports and let me know what you like or what you don't like. Because I'd like to put different reports in so you can see what's happening in the community, and the public sees those too, just so you know.
Yeah, I just wasn't understanding how they were computing some of these numbers.
Right, and then they change too based upon collections also, so.
Okay. And we had the joint municipal court report in there and treasurer's report, correct?
Right, and that's really, I mean, I hope the board members, I don't know how you feel, but I'm so glad we have a treasurer now that he is right on task. We have the numbers for the April of 2025, and the staff has been given their financials for April. We want them to look at it one last time, and then you'll have those at the next board meeting, just in case staff finds issues in their accounts, just so you know.
All right, moving on to finances. Accounts payable, May 15th, 2025. That was in the amount of, what's the total?
148,175.01.
The only question I had is, what is a forcible entry door, multi-force door?
Where was it installed? Not
It was
here.
under the town of Brookfield.
Town of it was a bill from the town of Brookfield?
Yeah.
It was a fire department bill, right?
Yeah.
I do not know.
I know a lot of their steel doors are rusting out, so I wonder if we're gonna get exterior ones
Oh, you think that?
with the keypad code to get in. But I'm guessing.
That makes sense, I just don't understand why we buy it from the town of Brookfield. Seems like a strange vendor for,
Used door?
yeah, it just seems like a strange vendor for buying a door, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because we just had the village hall door fixed, and we got that from a door
Yeah.
company. What check number is that?
It's on page 67 of the PDF. If you look at,
Oh, I see it,
oh,
yep,
you got it?
yep. The only thing I think of is they could have been getting rid of a door that our department found
73.
a lot better than what we have.
Or it went on fire station 2.
Right.
I don't know if that's cheap.
What I'll do is I'll talk to the sheet and
Yeah,
get some
I'm fine with
information.
approving it, but I just wanna know what it is.
Right.
You know. It's already bought, literally, so
Right.
it's not like we can't not pay.
Well, and I know the chief does, he really does try to find, if he can find something, well, you know how a lot of times he builds not a fire engine, but equipment, he kind of pieces it together and,
Yeah, you penny pinching.
That almost seems too cheap too for a brand new door.
Yeah.
It does seem too cheap for a brand new door too, especially if it's a steel door. But it also seems, that was the one question that I had, so. Other than that, I'll make a motion to approve it, I just wanna know what that is. I wanna ask him what that is.
Okay. Is there a second to trustee Newman's motion?
I'll second it.
Second by trustee Pecca. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Were there any other manual checks?
no manual check, sir?
Okay. And April 2025 bank reconciliation report.
Stay safe. Yeah, that was in your packet from the treasurer. And if you have any questions, you know, just,
All look good to me.
yeah. It's just nice to be on track.
And Terry's very thorough.
Oh, you should see him go through the APs after you guys are done. There's no motion needed on that.
Okay. Village board minutes from May 1st, 2025. I thought I saw a correction.
Let me get to my.
Computer's being slow. There was something about Gary. I don't remember what it was now. It was minor, whatever it was. I can't find it now. Anybody else have anything?
These are little compared to Plan Commission.
Yeah. Maybe it was under his, Gary's public comments. I think there's an incomplete sentence. Gary's,
He shouldn't have been in their public comments.
I mean,
His
under
announcements?
his report.
You hit that on your report.
Okay, maybe it was something else. I thought he had a partial sentence there, that's what it wasn't finished.
Oh, yeah, it's under Brett's report, I see what you're talking about. It says cleaning yard for, and then
Yeah,
it doesn't say anything else.
Oh, I see that. It's
That
for
was-
Brett's.
Yep.
that was the only,
Okay,
I have.
I'll strike that.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve those with, whatever change is necessary, either strike it or finish the sentence, either one's fine.
Second that one.
motion made by trustee Newman, second by trustee Pecca. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes unanimously. I'd like to announce our upcoming meetings. June 3rd, we have open book from 3 to 5 p.m. June 5th and 19th, we have village board meetings. July 11th, we have village board meeting and plan commission joint meeting at 6 o'clock. And June 12th, we have board review from 5 to 7. Also, spring brush pickup is still going on, Monday through Friday from 7:30 to 3 p.m. and Saturdays from 8 a.m. till noon. There is no drop off on Memorial Day weekend, May 24th through 26th. The village will reopen at 7 a.m. on Monday, May 27th. Is there a motion to convene in the closed session as printed on agenda item number 4?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
And it's roll call vote.
President Jeff Millies,
Aye.
trustee Jay Pecca,
Aye.
trustee Dylan Newman,
Aye.
trustee Jim Hurth. Mr. President, note for the record that your village board has approved unanimously to move into closed session.
All right, thank you. Thanks for coming.
Let us know if there's any dents on the cars out there.